Welcome to the Code With Me video for Chapter 3. This first video will be talking about phrase elements. To get things started off, let's go ahead and use the student data files that are provided for you on Moodle. If you don't have these, then please go to Moodle and download them immediately. You should use them for your Chapter 2 assignment. So, starting off, we can go ahead and get the Chapter 3 files right here and drag that straight into brackets. Or if you want, you can also go and use the phrase elements folder that we'll be working with as well. The first activity we'll be doing with Chapter 3 is Activity 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3 to give you a better idea about what to do and to follow along in the book if you want to do that as well. So the first thing we're doing is we're going to be using this cart T file right here. If you have it in brackets as the project, you can go ahead and click it, or you can go into Chapter 3 and drag the phrase elements folder into brackets as well. Alright, so I already have it loaded up into a browser, and I have the code right here. This way we can actually split the difference so you can see what the difference is. 3, 2, 1. This way I have the code at the top, the browser at the bottom, so you can see what the code is as the browser is being refreshed. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is to read the first sentence in the first paragraph and know that the event name should stand out. But it's not any more important than any other word in the paragraph. So therefore, we're just going to be wrapping it inside a bold tag. Now keep in mind that the bold tag itself will only add emphasis to the word visually. But if a screen reader is looking at it, it's not going to change the emphasis at all once it speaks it. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Let's take a look at the browser, refresh, and you can see automatically that Healthy Teeth Day event has been bolded. Alright, in the next sentence we talk about the word free. The word free should stand out. Otherwise it's just in addition to free teeth cleanings. So we can wrap that inside of an EM tag. The EM is for emphasis. Why use emphasis versus italics? Well, again, visually they do the exact same thing. We go ahead and save, we go to the browser, we refresh, and you can see that the word free has now been italicized. But now, when screen readers and other assistive technologies are reading it, it'll say, in addition to free teeth cleanings and screenings, instead of just using the same value and volume as other words. Alright, next we have a strong tag. And the strong tag is just like the bold tag, but it does the exact same thing as the EM tag versus the italics tag. So in this case, we're going to do the first sentence. Let's see, we're going to use the phrase 2 minutes twice a day with a soft bristled brush. Let's see, where is that? Right here. So we're going to wrap that whole statement inside of a strong tag right before the end of the period. Okay, we save, we refresh, and you can see down here that 2 minutes twice daily with the soft bristled brush is now bolded. This looks the exact same as the Healthy Teeth Day event, but when screen readers and other assistive technologies are reading it, it will emphasize and make this, this phrase stronger than the rest of the text. All right. So from that, you should see the main difference. Going into Activity 3.2. First thing is, let's take this abbreviation right here, C-A-R-T-T. Chances are you have no idea what that means and other people don't as well. So let's add an abbreviation to make it stand out. An abbreviation is the ABBR tag. Let's wrap the whole thing in an ABBR tag. Okay, we save, we refresh, and you notice that, well, not much has happened. Why? Well, the reason is there's nothing there. Again, the ABBR tag or abbreviation doesn't have any styling by itself. So in this case, we can go in and add a title. And the title basically means that the value that's being provided will come as a tooltip once the item is hovered over. So if we say, for example, tooltip, we save, we refresh, and now by default, there should be a dashed underline. Some browsers may not do this. But if you hover over the CARTT, you can see this tooltip pop up. So anything we put inside of this value right here, it'll come up as a tooltip. This means the CARTT community community awareness relating to teeth. Okay, save, refresh. Again, nothing visually different, but we take a look at the CAR2T, we hover over it, and we can see the tooltip comes up as what we put in the value. All right, next we have the second sentence in the first paragraph. Let's see, we're looking for the phrase "and delicious." Where is that? And delicious, right here. We're going to wrap that in a small tag, mainly because we're making this a little smaller than the rest of the text. So pay attention to this right here. We refresh, and you can see now it's a bit smaller than the rest of the text. Not much else to it other than that. Okay, the next item, we're going to cite the photography exhibit and board game because they are creative works. So with that, we're going to say, let's see, a must-see photography exhibit. Wrap these items in a cite tag. And the board game, starting with the, because the is just part of the title itself. Now keep in mind, we're not using the Q or the quotation tag with the cite attribute. We're using the cite tag itself. The cite tag itself has no attributes. So we take a look, we save, we refresh, and now you can see tobacco use in your teeth and the toothorific cavity caper have been italicized because they are citations. Alright, and the last thing we're doing for this activity is you don't have to be present to win, putting that in a small tag. So putting that right here, small, you don't have to be present to win. And we're wrapping the period with that. Alright, save, refresh, and now it's smaller. Alright, that's it for activity 3.2. Activity 3.3. The first thing we're doing is we are wrapping the time. In this case, it is Saturday, July 4th at 10 a.m. First thing is we're going to wrap this in a time tag, and not including the paragraph. Whoa, too far. What happened? Time tag. Okay, we save, we refresh. If you pay attention, nothing has changed visually, but this is a semantic tag, which means that search engines, things like Facebook and Twitter, will be able to pick it up and process this information on a date system. But they don't know exactly what Saturday, July 14th at 10 a.m. means, so let's help them out a bit. In this case, we're going to say date time because we want to fill in the date time attribute. This is 07/14. We are leaving off the year. T for time. 10 a.m. Whoa, wrong button. 10 a.m. No seconds and no partial. Okay, so we've done a yearless date, July 14th. Hopefully this year, whatever that year is. T for time, stating 10 o'clock using the 24-hour time period. The 2 colons, and the dot for a fraction of a second. Alright, so before we actually proceed, let's go ahead and work this into the validator. We can actually use 2 different methods to validate this code, but what we're going to do with this is we're actually going to use direct validation. This makes things a little easier instead of having to go through and upload a file. So what you want to do is go to Edit, select all, and then copy. You can also use Command or Control A, then Command and Control C. Alright, in the browser you want to go to validator.w3.org. Okay, we are here, validate by direct input. Go into this text box, paste everything you have, and click check. And in a few seconds it should say, hopefully, whoop, what is this? The literal did not satisfy the time date format. Why? Well, the easiest fix is to wrap the date and time separately. Okay, we can fix that. Well, apparently it doesn't like yearless dates. So, well, yearless dates with time, I'm sorry. So what we can do is we can actually go back and close this. Take this information right here, get rid of it. We can wrap this in a time tag, and then we can say 10 a.m. time, date, time equals 10:00:00.000. Okay, and the closing time tag is already there. All right, good. Let's save. Let's copy or highlight this all. Copy it. Let's go back to here. In the nice big text area box, we're going to paste it. Click check again. And yay, green box, valid code. We are good. Now it passes validation. Okay, let's go back to the page. Let's go back to the code. And now we're going to be adding the quotation tag or the Q tag. So with this, we should wrap the "you should brush your teeth for 2 minutes twice a day with a soft bristled brush." That includes the strong tag. Remember that right here? The strong tag? Okay, so let's put this in a quotation because this does say according to the American Dental Association. So let's wrap that in a Q tag. Let's wrap the whole thing in a Q tag. There we go. Now don't forget, the Q tag in most browsers should automatically add quotations. So if we go ahead and save this, go to the browser, we refresh, you can see quotations have been added around this. But quotations aren't enough. Let's make sure we use the cite attribute because we want to make sure that the browser and any search engines know where this came from. And this came from specifically https://www.ada, the American Dental Association, .org, English for, or EN for English, Member Center, Oral Health, wrong, Health Topics, Toothbrushes. There we go. Okay, so if we click refresh again, visually you won't see a difference, but now search engines and other systems know where this came from. Okay, so that is it for activity 3.3. In the next one, we'll be working with the networking page and looking at some computer code.